Hi guys, welcome to another budgeting video. Today we're going to be chatting about what I spent in November and what my plans are for December. So as you guys know, November was Black Friday and I definitely did a little shopping on Black Friday. It's kind of ironic because the month started out like fine, like I barely spent any money and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. And then Black Friday happened and everything went downhill. So let's get into everything that I spent. So we're gonna start on the variable checking account side. That's where most of the money was spent, of course. Starting balance is the same at 1,000. Income actually came in a little bit higher, so 2,789. And then I made $47, I think, in cash back. Then subscriptions. So I normally get my Audible subscription reimbursed through my Amex card, but apparently they changed what companies they reimburse. So instead of Audible, now they're reimbursing the Wall Street Journal. Unfortunately, I did not get that notice. So for the last 2 months, I've been like paying for Audible. And honestly, I would not have because I don't even care about Audible. But the fact that it was free, I was like, okay, I'll use it. So I'm a little annoyed. I guess it's my fault for taking 2 months to check on it. I know that sometimes like their reimbursement for things is delayed. So I figured, that was it, but that was not the case. So unfortunately, I had to pay $15 for Audible. Then the internet was $55 as always. Groceries, I overspent on groceries as well. I can't say if there's a particular reason. I think there were about 5 weeks in November, so maybe a little bit more than normal, but I guess it's not the worst. So $427. Gas also was over. And I think it was because of the way the month was laid out, because normally I get gas every 2 weeks. And so I ended up filling up, instead of 2 times, I filled up 3 times. So $88. Then wellness, actually ended up spending less than this. So total was $169. And that included therapy for $90. I bought some magnesium, I mentioned last month, I think, for $25. Medication is $10. Cycle bar, $12 for renting shoes. This is the end of my cycle bar classes that I bought. So no more payments for that. And then Pilates, I actually did not do Pilates. I'll explain in a minute. They changed their payment structure, so now I have to pay per class. So I actually ended up skipping a class because I was like confused about what was happening. So I ended up not signing up at all, but next month I will. And then home, I actually went over in home, spent $213. This was the beginning of my Black Friday spending spree. So flowers, $16, candle, $7. I bought this standing desk that I'm at right now. That was $159. Drain cover, $10. Utensils, $10. And then I bought a vase for $13. So this is the vase. I got this from H&M. It was actually pretty cheap, as you can see. But normally all my vases are ceramic just because they have like fun shapes and colors and stuff. But I find that if you have flowers for a long time, like the fact that it's dark in there and there's water like is not a good combination, aka like mold grows in there, and I do not love that. That like creeps me out. So I decided to get a clear vase because assuming that there's light there, there'll be less likelihood of mold, but we'll see. And this is like aesthetic as well, so why not? Then car maintenance was $0. Books, only spent $1. I think I bought a book and then I returned it, so that's the difference. Hygiene stayed the same, $32. Just contact lens solutions, and then Sonic toothbrush heads. Business expenses, so I was gonna buy Adobe Premiere Pro. I got the trial version and I downloaded it to this computer, and it was a very slow / non-functional because it requires like way more computer power than this laptop has. And this is a laptop that I usually use the most because I carry it around, so it didn't make sense to put it on my other laptop, which is usually pretty stationary because it's like heavy. So I don't know, just like decrease like the functionality if I only have it on one laptop. So I didn't love that. I didn't end up purchasing it, but I did make some further purchases that should help me with my wrist situation. We'll talk about that in a few. So $0 there. Shipping someone purchased something that I had online and I spent $4 on shipping. Skincare, I got the Drunk Elephant Glowy Oil. I've had it before and I didn't like it, but then I got a sample and I used it like differently. So usually I used to mix it with my other skincare, and then this time around I used it on its own and it was like way 10 times better on its own. So I ended up getting it. I like to use it in the nighttime part of my skincare routine. In the daytime I use like brightening stuff, and then in the nighttime I use this, which has like, of course, oils, ceramides, and then retinol as well. Then activewear, this is where I spend the most money. If you haven't already seen my vlog, I chat about my workout routine and what I've been doing like fitness wise and whatnot. And because of all this new fitness stuff and the fact that I lost some weight, I decided to get some things from Lululemon, which were highly overpriced in my opinion, even though they're on sale, but they are quite nice. So there's that. But I feel like the price could be a little bit more moderate, but I guess if something's too cheap, then that like decreases its like attractiveness to people apparently. from a psychological standpoint, I've read that to be a fact. Like if you want to have a luxury brand, then you have to like price appropriately. Not that Lululemon's luxury, but you know, it's a step above like, you know, clearly a Walmart brand or something like that. So anyway, I ended up spending $155 there. Basically got almost like replacements for things that I had that started to not fit me because like I said, I had lost some weight. So yeah, basically got a brand new like fitness wardrobe. So, you know, that's fun. I mean, I love it, but you know, I don't want to spend $1,000 on it, but it's okay. Sometimes you have to like do things that are for your benefit, even though they cost some money. Next up, shoes. I spent $89 on some shoes. So these are some Uggs that I got. I got these on, I think it was Cyber Monday. Yeah, I think it was Cyber Monday or Black Friday, doesn't matter. You know, it's all like the same relatively, but they had these on sale. They were like clearly $89, or they were less than that, but there was tax involved. So I got these because I've been telling you guys that I don't like to wear boots anymore, especially when I'm like going around and running errands. I just want to like slip my foot into something and then like go. So anyway, I got these. These are cute. I'll put the name up for them. I think they're called the Nita, but basically this is what they look like. They're nice and plush on the inside. And I was debating between this and another shoe, and thankfully I like tried them on with like actual clothes because I was just like trying them on around the house. So when I put them on with actual clothes, like these ended up looking better with clothes, so I kept those, and those were the cheaper of the choices, so that's always a good thing. And then accessories. Okay, these are socks. I spent $20 on socks. I bought some socks like several years ago, and you know, it's at least been like, let's see, maybe like 3 years, and they're starting to like fall apart because I've been wearing them like almost every day for 3 years. So I got a new set. And then electronics, so I spent $166, and this is where I got those things to help with my wrist. So I got a ergonomic keyboard and a mouse, and they made a huge difference actually. And then for the standing desk that I have, I had to get another laptop stand for it, so it's aligned with my eyes and I'm not like looking down or like having to look up. The problem was that I had to look down and it was like making my neck hurt. So those few adjustments have been definitely worth the money. So let's see. I spent $2,400 total, and for a breakdown, the income was $2,836 on this side. Bills were $70, living was $897, and then extra was $1,433. The end balance in this account will be $1,436. Now we're gonna move on to the fixed checking side. So starting balance is the same, $1,955. Salary, that's the set amount, so $6,046, making the available balance $2,601. Bills were as is, $50 for my cell phone, and that's it. So the spending breakdown for November is that I spent the most money on extra, so 58%, Bills were only about 5%, and then living was 36%. So the combination of income from the two accounts, $3,482, spending $450, and then leaving me with a difference of $1,032. Now let's move on to December. Starting with the variable checking account side, the starting balance is $996. The extra money that I had left in this account, I moved over to savings. So I normally try to start off the month with about $1,000 in the account. It's 5 days into December, so something has come out, and that's why it's a little bit less than that. Salary, we're gonna assume the same. I'm working the same amount of extra hours. This is above my base salary. My base salary, you know, is lower than this, closer to the 1,000 side, so it's nice getting some extra money. So available balance, $3,785. Subscriptions, I am going to cancel that Audible subscription, so I shouldn't be paying for anything this month. And then electricity, $50 this time around. Internet, $55. Groceries, I'm gonna budget $400. I've been trying to cut back on groceries, but clearly, I mean, it like comes and goes, so we'll just do $400 for now. Gas should be $70, unless this just happens to be yet another long month. Wellness, $159. So Pilates, I'm thinking about 3 times this month, so that would be $90, just $30 per class now. And then I already bought some protein powder, that was $64. I normally get the huge tub of whey protein, and that lasts like several months, so I was due for a re-up. And then I spent $5 on medication. Home, nothing budgeted. Car maintenance, shouldn't be anything. Hair care, I have a subscribe and save from Amazon for, it's like the African like pre-poo. I use it as a detangler like before I wash my hair, and it is like godsend, like staple 100%. Like it makes detangling my hair like so much easier, like 10 times easier. Like it's like a dream. I'm glad I like found out about it. Sometimes like watching all these YouTube videos like actually ends up like being useful. So that was one time that it was useful because I discovered that product. Best thing ever. And then Nespresso, I need to put in an order. I don't know how much I'm going to get, but we'll just say $100. I need to like stock up for a minute because I'm down to like the last few. And then books, I've already spent $20 on books, and then I'm sure I will find something else to buy for the rest of the month, but this is all I have thought up so far. So income, $2,789, bills $105, living $629, and then extra $127. Spending total is $861, leaving me with a remaining balance of $2,924, which would be very nice to have some extra money left over, because as I mentioned, I'm trying to save. So if anything extra that I have left over will be going to savings. So starting balance in this account is less than what it was predicted last month, because I think I had a couple of transfers. One I needed to cancel, and I totally forgot to cancel, and it ended up like getting transferred out, and I didn't bother to put it back. So $1,480. Then salary, that's the same, $646, leaving me with an available balance of $2,126. So in terms of home fees, normally I pay this fee once a month, or I'm sorry, once a year. So it would be $3,000 a year, but this year I'm going to just go back to paying it monthly because I don't feel like parting with $3,000 right now. Like it's just not the thing. So we're gonna do this. The issue was that it's done through bill pay, so the checks are sent out by that company, and sometimes the checks will be very late. So my solution is just to pay it before it's due, and then hopefully it gets there on time. We'll see. Car insurance, $528. And I pay that quarterly. Cell phone, $71. So bills are $849, leaving with an end balance of $1,277. Then the breakdown, bills are up this month, so 55%, and then living 36.8%, then extra 7%. So total income, $3,435, spending $1,710, and then the difference, or what I would save if this works out as planned is $1,725. So that's gonna be it for the December budget. Let me know how you guys are feeling this season. I personally I don't know how I'm feeling. I mean, I know how I'm feeling. I feel like I'm in more of a, for some reason, like I have a scarcity mindset right about now. I don't know why that is, because for logically, like when I look at all my accounts and everything, like everything is in order, but I'm just like afraid somehow of like literally like not having money, even though like the possibility of that happening would be very low. So that's something that I'm working on. Along that lines, I was going to go on vacation in December because I had some unexpected time off because of the way Christmas and New Year's comes together and like my need to work. So I was thinking about going somewhere, but I started looking at the prices and everything was like so expensive, and I already bought the plane tickets and had started to book a few like events and buy some tickets, and then I started looking at the lodging or hotels, Airbnbs, whatever, and it was like crazy expensive, like 15,000 plus a week, and I don't know, I did not want to spend that money. So I'm thinking about like canceling the vacation. I'm like, I don't really want to spend all this money, and especially for the time of year, because this was going to be in Europe. The tickets were cheap. That was the appeal, right? So because it's basically going to be like here into the weather, which is like dark and dreary, and I don't feel like spending like thousands of dollars to be in dark and dreary weather. Like I could just do that here. But of course there is the appeal of like being somewhere else and doing something else, and you know, sometimes that's like good for your mental health. So I don't know. I'm almost undecided, but I'm more leaning towards canceling the trip entirely. But at the same time, like it's very unlikely that I'll have this much time off again without using like lots of vacation time. Like this was like minimal vacation time, but like lots of time off due to the schedule. So you know, it's just some mental and psychological and financial things that I need to work through clearly. But yeah, that's what's happening now. You guys will of course know whatever I decide. We'll chat about it or vlog about it or whatnot, whatever it is. But yeah, I would love to hear from you guys below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.